ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The next generation of track and field athletes on showcase the next couple of days at the Frank Pancho-Ramming National Primary School Championships. Charles Fisher was at the opening this morning.
Students braving the hot sun, they are early for the start of competition. Royal Bahamas Defense Force marching band leading in the entrance of teams. Over 1,200 athletes, 11 from Grand Bahama and a record 34 from the Family Islands, making this the largest track and field nationals ever. Bringing remarks was the Director of Sports, Timothy Munnings, who alluded to the long running of the meet for 35 years.
It was originally called, for those of you old enough to remember, the Ovaltine Track and Field Meet. But because of the contribution of a particular person and their commitment and devotion to the development of persons like yourselves, the young people, this event was renamed the Frank Pancho-Ramming Track and Field Championship. This event will give you the opportunity to demonstrate the abilities that you have. Some of you are natural athletes, some are not. When I was young like you, I was not a natural athlete, but it took a lot of hard work. So I want to encourage all of you that if you, when you run, you fall down, and you'll hear this through your school things, get back up, never give up.
It was not only about the athletes on the track, as once again the young students showed their talents in culture. Officially opening the meet was the Undersecretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Renee Ballard.
I am advised that the strong representation by the Family Island teams has contributed to this year's event, being the largest ever on record. I officially declared this Frank Pancho-Ramming Championship meet open. Let the games begin!
With the official opening ceremony all done with and day one of competition into the record books, it is 2 more days of competition here in the Frank Pancho-Ramming National Primary School Track and Field Championships. Come on down and make sure you cheer on these youngsters, some 34 schools, once again from throughout the Family Islands.
2 Bahamians being afforded the opportunity of a lifetime to further their development in the sport of rugby. We get that story from Kelsey Johnson.
Track to the field. Only difference is it's a whole new game for the country's newest professional athletes. Ivany Kemp hung up her sprints after the 2012 Olympic Games, while Carlene Johnson was one of the up-and-coming sprinters for the Bahamas, having competed on the junior level at the Carifta and Junior CAC Games. The 2 young ladies were selected to play with the DC Furies, a professional team based in Washington, D.C.
I've been doing track and field since 2007 and wanted something different, and rugby is not really known, at least the women's team is not really known in the Bahamas, and like I said, I want to be one of the first person to actually put it on the map.
It feels amazing to be chosen to play professional rugby, to be able to represent my country and to make the people proud.
Members of the women's national rugby team went through a series of drills put on by coach Matthew Williams, who's been in town for more than 5 weeks scouting. Williams believes that Kemp and Johnson were a perfect fit for the DC Furies, and their skill sets are a bonus for his team.
Carly, she was absolutely exceptional. Physical, you can tell she's played rugby at quite a good level. Ivy, obviously, being involved in the Olympics, 110-metre hurdles, we're not lacking on speed. Obviously, her rugby is still quite new and quite fresh, but her attitude, her kind of behaviour and everything around the way she held herself was really important.
Johnson and Kemp both have their work cut out for them, and they are ready.
We deserve it. It wasn't just handed to us. We worked extremely hard to get here, so I feel, hey, we're going to go out there and do our best.
It's going to be more advanced and more quicker because being back home, we don't get to play that much.
And because the time frame is short, Williams said, it won't be easy.
They'll come in camp with me now starting in June. They'll come over for a week and they'll work really, really hard in that week is our first qualifier. Then they'll come back here and then Kevin will have them play in the kind of Caribbean Championship over in Grand Cayman. And then they'll come back to me in July for what is 5 weeks, and that will be then qualifying 2, qualifying 3. If we qualify then for nationals, we'll be going to nationals on I think it's the 10th and 12th of August.
Williams noted this is just the beginning and believes that more Bahamian females will be awarded contracts from his squad as well as other professional teams. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
Executives from the Bahamas Basketball Federation in Miami this past couple of days taking part in the FIBA National Federation's Development Workshop. On hand were BBF President Mario Bolig, Secretary General Jarrell Nairn Mullings, Assistant Secretary Latoya Silver, and National Technical Director Steve Barnes. The workshop focused on technical development and was aimed at supporting and developing the Federation's capacity for governance, administration, event management, and communication. Phoenix Suns big man DeAndre Ayton has been named to the 2019 NBA All-Rookie First Team. The 20-year-old was the first overall pick by the Suns in last year's draft, averaging 16.3 points and 10.3 rebounds per game, making him the only rookie to average a double-double. He led all rookies in rebounding and had the highest field goal percentage ever by a rookie who averaged a double-double. The all-rookie teams voted on by a global panel of sports writers and broadcasters. Ayton received the third most points in the voting process behind Mavs guard Luka Doncic and Hawks guard Trae Young, who were each unanimous first-team selections. Ayton, Doncic, and Young are the 3 finalists for the NBA Rookie of the Year, which will be announced on June 24th. From the minor league baseball diamond, Chavez Young 1 for 3, a double last night. The Dunedin Blue Jays shut out by the St. Lucie Mets 3-0. Those same 2 teams back on the diamond earlier today. The Jays flipping the script, winning 11-5. A big game for Chavez. He went 3 for 5, hitting his second home run of the season, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. He also had 3 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Conference tournament action underway in the NCAA Division I baseball season. Cole Dubé and the 7th-seeded St. Louis Billikens on the field this afternoon against 2nd-seeded Davidson in the Atlantic 10. Cole finishing up 1 for 4 as the Billikens were shut out 2-0. With that loss, St. Louis now falls into the losers bracket. They play in a must-win game tonight against a 6th-seeded Rhode Island team, which also lost today 5-2 to 3rd-seeded Dayton. St. Louis played 1 series against Rhode Island this season, winning 2 of the 3 games. Cole went a combined 4-13 with a double and 2 runs scored. The largest class of student athletes expected to graduate from the University of the Bahamas in its spring commencement that is set for tomorrow, 4 p.m. at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. 15 student athletes will graduate with degrees in education, engineering, biology and chemistry, business, accounting, architecture, and culinary arts. The graduates include Ashley Ombler, Yurik Dean, Amber Ford, and Leanna Gardner from athletics, Vanessa McBride and Garnisha Lewis from women's volleyball, Duchelle Ricard, Christoph Wood, and Stuart Hanna from men's soccer. Also Ramon Dames, Justin Monroe, and Ethan McKinsey from men's basketball. Desmondo Boodle from judo, and Justin Smith, who competed in both soccer and basketball. And that will do it for sports. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.